Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Bosch Network. I'm your host, the enlightened, excited ADV. Joining me this episode is two very special guests. Everybody, please welcome the one, the only Greysun Morales.
Hi. How are you? Thank you. Thank you for having me. So
Thank you
excited
for
to be back.
thank you
Yeah,
for coming. And
of course.
Stephanie Orphan.
Hey, glad to be here.
Yes, I didn't do nice this week because it's the last Monday and I had a busy week. I am I literally probably put in about 20 some hours just the weekend alone because I had a long work week and with the people that we have to work with, I was just like, I don't want to think. I just want to have some fun and just go about it. Um, but thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Grayson. Congratulations, Stephanie, for becoming a permanent co-host on Boss Rush Podcast.
Yeah.
If you guys have not checked that out, they record at 7:30, 8:30 p.m. on Boss Rush Twitch page on Wednesdays, and then you go catch the recordings on Monday. And if you want to check out more for Grayson himself, you can check him out on GameRents.com. Any news, Grayson? What's coming up for Game Rent?
Oh man, there's a lot of stuff. We just put out a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy guide content.
Nice.
So getting that ready for launch tomorrow. That game has like a lot of choices. So there's a lot of guide content to put out for that. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've been focusing on, and I'm very excited for Pokemon next month. I hope I can help cover that and play through. It'll be cool to do like write up guides for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl because that's just one of my favorite like generations of Pokemon. So it's gonna be cool to see like what stuff I can put out for that. So yeah, that's what's going on.
Yes. And Stephanie, what you got in the pipeline?
For me in general, actually, I got a key to review a game, Roki, on the Xbox Series X, and I'm, working my way through that. And I like to take care of like all the reviews that I write, but I don't know, in particular, I really want to, show that I, played through the game and, look and feel through everything. So that's what I'm kind of working on.
Oh, nice. I know this is normally what everyone's been doing on weekend, but and I would get to you guys. I just ordered I Can Fail for Switch.
Oh,
The limited run.
so good.
All right.
Yes. I told Grayson I have it on PS4, and I told Grayson that I had it, but they was just like last minute because I didn't know that it was getting physical copies. And Limited Run was doing it. I'm like, let me snatch this right now. Click, click. So I got it for Switch, and I'm just waiting for the game to come.
Now you have 2 copies?
Yes. I had the digital, and then I
Wonderful.
had the physical.
You gotta support the indies, man.
Oh, yes.
Hey, we talked about double dipping on our Boss Rush podcast last week. That was my topic because I'm starting to do that.
Oh, hi, Stephanie. Welcome to the club. Trust me, if there's a game that I'm looking forward to, I would double dip. Monster Hunter World, I double dip. The day that it came out, I double dipped it on PS4 and Xbox, so I could play with different communities. Now, I won't be double dipping on Monster Hunter Rise because I don't have the PC to run it at this time.
Same.
But I think when you double dip, it's good for that publisher if you love that game. I double dipped on a lot of, and this is probably going to come into our doc mode later on, but double dipping when a great digital game gets a physical, a lot of Switch players do it. And I don't know if a lot of PS4 or Xbox players do it. Or I'm going to say PS4, PlayStation players do it. I don't know. But I will be double dipping. Continue to double dip. So, but Stephanie, how was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty good. I enjoyed the weather because we're going to get hit with a nor'easter tomorrow. So I was out and about. My cousins visited from New Jersey, so we did the whole New England thing where we go to a farm and do the hayride and get lost in a corn maze, which was actually a lot more stressful with like 3 tiny children all running in different directions. So try not to lose the children. And like I said, I've been playing the heck out of Roki, which is great. But because of all the madness of all the great games coming out, I have like there's the backlog, and then there's like the immediate backlog of the like 4 or 5 different games I'm trying to play simultaneously. Because normally I am a person that prefers to play one game at a time, maybe one game per console, but generally one game at a time. I probably have 4 or 5 games kind of swapping through as I can.
Once again, hi Stephanie.
Where have I been?
Greysun, how was your weekend?
I mean, yeah, that sounds a lot like what my situation is with gaming. I think a lot of us too. But yeah, like, just jumping around between like I've been playing a lot of Smash Brothers with Sora, which I've been having a lot of fun with. I've been playing like Splatoon. I've been playing Genshin Impact. Just a lot of random stuff. It's just like jumping around. And besides that, like it was pretty like a chill, lazy weekend. I've been watching a lot of Midnight Mass, which is this new Netflix horror. Oh my god, it's so good, guys. It's like
I have to finish.
It's so good. Yeah, I think we're like 2 or 3 episodes in, and it's like just like the perfect amount of horror where it's not like too scary for for like a regular person to watch, but and like the story is really interesting, and it has Rahul Kohli in it. If you guys know him from what iZombie and The Haunting of Blythe Manor, I think. I forget what the other one.
Yeah,
the other one's called. He was in one of them. Yeah. He's such a great actor. The story is really great. So if you guys are looking for something to binge watch, it's really good.
He's the one that the gays are just like.
I see him on Twitter a lot. Yeah.
Well, I'm such a weenie for horror stuff, but it doesn't mean I'm not interested. So this sounds like it's right up my alley.
It's awesome, yeah, and I don't think it's like connected to like those other Netflix horror series that are like the same name, so you can just go in and watch it fresh. But yeah,
because it's like what 7 episodes, I think.
Maybe 8 or 9 or 10. It might be 10 actually. Yeah, but it's limited, I think. So I think it's supposed to go away eventually. So
I gotta watch the rest of it. Yeah, that's the movie. Yeah. That's the show that me and Jesse was watching when I went to go visit him. And so, like, I just go, we was watching it 2 episodes, and then I was about to leave. Because I had to drive home. And Jesse's just like, "Oh, I wish you could stay. This is when it gets interesting." I'm like, "Are you sure?" You're just like, "Yeah, I think if I'm like, I really want you to watch it." So I set my black tail down and watched it I love watching stuff with Jesse. I had so much fun. I literally because we could have, if I would have stayed at Jesse's house, we probably would have watched the whole thing. And I was just like, I'm staying over, and we'll go get breakfast in the morning. But yeah, I enjoyed it. For me, for my weekend outside of work, had to talk to one of my friends who like hit me on Facebook. He was looking for this gospel song that was back from like early 2000, and I could not think of the life of it. So we talking, and I was just like, man, I cannot think of it. 5 hours later, he hit me on Facebook and he was just like, Eddie, this is the song. And I turned 25. I was just like, oh my goodness, I remember this song. And started listening to the whole thing. And I'm just like, I need to buy this album. I was literally shocked on how like old school, like, because sometimes you hear a song and you cannot think of the artist, but you know what it is. And then when you hear it, you go back and hear the whole album and be like, where was I at during this time when I heard it? And I completely remember. I'm like, oh, wow. Because I remember that I had that CD. I burnt him a copy. That's what we used to do, everybody. To get around feeling, we were blessing folks, let's just say. During that time.
Blessing.
I remember doing that and everything. But
wow, Ed, you know what that's called? That's called we're old.
Yes. Yes.
Old but proud. Those were the good old days.
Exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much my weekend. Like I said, aside of work and doing some gaming and everything. But we're gonna get into Snacktendo. Grayson, what have you been snacking on?
Oh man. So I'm not sure if I posted something on Twitter like I think like last week, but I've discovered these Talenti brand sorbet that are in like the grocery stores. Oh my
Yes.
god, I had
I
never had them before, and they're like I think it's the best like that Italian ice sorbet type of thing that I've ever
yeah,
had in my life, and I'm
I
obsessed.
I think I hit you up. I'm like, what is this? And I was at the grocery store, forgot to go look at it. I was just like, what is this? Because
Yeah,
I now want to try it.
the first one I had was like a raspberry flavor.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, and they put like names in front of them. So this one's like Roman raspberry. So it's the marketing is on point. And then they have a mango one. It's like Alphonse mango or something. And it's like and they're like dairy free and they don't have like a lot of ingredients. So I feel like it's super. It's not like it's not like a bunch of terrible ingredients for you. Just a lot of sugar is what it is. But yeah, the mango one is so good. The raspberry one. So if you guys Ed, you might have those in your store or something, but oh, they're so good. And besides that, I've also I started making my own popcorn at home, like just buying kernels, which I haven't done in a very long time. Just like I like having popcorn, but I don't have a microwave right now. I just haven't bought one because we don't really like use it. So yeah, like making popcorn kernels on the stove, and like I've been flavoring it with like nutritional yeast, salt and pepper, garlic. Yeah, and it's just it tastes really good, and I'm saving a lot of money, so that's been cool.
Heck
Great
yeah,
taste.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, because popcorn is so good. It's just like the best healthy snack, So
It really is.
yeah.
Stephanie, what have you been snacking on?
Well, it's going to be baking season soon, so maybe in the future I can kind of fill up the Snacktendo on Discord because I haven't been on it in a while. But
Same.
I was late to the game, but I ended up buying some Pokemon Oreos just really because my son saw it, and I'm like, all right. I found a Mew in there, so I like immediately put it in a Ziploc bag and checked eBay.
He's like, why is there one missing? I'm like, no, don't worry about that. It's fine.
I was about to give it to my son. He was about to put it in his mouth. I'm like, no. And he goes, he's like, what? I'm like, it's special. I really don't know what to do with it because I think it's kind of a joke that they're selling for how much on eBay. But I'm like, what if I just say it's $30? Maybe someone will buy it for $30. Who knows?
Exactly.
But I mean, that's just, a novelty. It was for fun. Other than that, I've just been snacking on. Target has this amazing trail mix. It's like a peanut butter and chocolate kind of combination.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. Like, they have a little bit of Reese's cups in there. They have M&Ms, peanuts, and then they have like a pretzel, but it's covered in peanut butter. And I love it. It's so good. So I have to pick out some of the raisins, though. It's not like I don't like raisins, but sometimes you just need the right ratio. So mine is that ratio.
I understand completely.
So that's just kind of it. Nothing terribly exciting except for the Mew.
Well, for me, eating some Tostitos lime chips with the salsa. So now everybody hold on to your horses. Don't get upset. I went to Chick-fil-A and I got their grilled chicken. Probably some of the best grilled chicken I ever tasted. I'm not going to lie. I had it with the Chick-fil-A sauce. I had it with cheese and everything, and I ended up getting a cookie and cream milkshake. That put me over $15 for a meal. But I was just like,
Wow.
it was worth it.
It's a lot.
Surprisingly, the waffle fries was good this time. I enjoyed them. But that grilled chicken was bomb big, and I know everybody has a certain stance on them. I don't eat Chick-fil-A at all that much. I won't say at all. I don't eat it that much, that regularly. But I had to try it. I just had a taste for it, and was just like, yeah, I need to see what this is all about, and it's the bee's knees. I don't know if they have a spicy grilled chicken sandwich yet, but from what I tasted, man, that grilled chicken, fire. since a lot of like Burger King and McDonald's and stuff, because they don't got grilled chicken anymore.
Mm.
Tasting the Chick-fil-A one, which was like, oh, this is super good, super bomb. And then I had yesterday at work, because no, let me tell y'all of this adventure that happened Friday. I'm sorry. Because I had Italian sausage and diced tomatoes on Domino's Pizza yesterday. But Friday I ordered Chipotle, and I was putting my information in, and it changed my name, and I had to go and do something outside at work, and so I couldn't meet my DoorDash driver. The associate, when DoorDash came in, they was looking for somebody, and I told them before, if anyone is coming in to deliver food, just take it. And if it's the wrong people, I'm like, because the people at DoorDash, they're gonna come in and they're going to ask for it back because they delivered it wrong. That's what happened to me. Some guy, he delivered my Panda Express, but then also gave me a bag of Cheetos. And the funny is, I'm like, I sell this. Why is this from a gas station? My name is Dr. Yuqua. I'm like, wait, what is this mess? So it took him 15 minutes to realize that he delivered the another order to me. So he came back. He's just like, did you guys still have it? I'm like, I still have it here. I'm like, I sell the stuff, so I don't know why. He's just like, I'm sorry, this is my first time. I'm like,
Oh.
But yeah, she told them that they don't know anyone here, so DoorDash left with my food. So I had to call Chipotle back, and Chipotle is across the street. I can't leave because I'm the only person in the store that's running. You know, I'm the only manager. So I sent the person who told them that that nobody was here to go get my food, because I called them back. So she went and got the food, and when she came back, it was hot, fresh. It was really good. I love my burrito bowls. I put Voice of Yum as the meal. There's one day I put Boss Rush Games. Oh no, I put Boss Rush Noms. So I kind of make punny stuff and everything. One day I just put Yas. Like they're just like, I'm looking for at work. I have a meal that says Yas. I'm just like, thank you. That's mine.
Ed, you're my hero. That's awesome.
Yes. But that's pretty much what I snacked on. The Chick-fil-A McGrill. Sorry. The Chick-fil-A grilled chicken sandwich, spot on good. If you guys are into that. Like I said, I know people have a stance, a viewpoint of them. But I just wanted to try it to see what it was all about. So we're going to actually move on to our next section, which is our game fact events. And actually, everybody, I got the game fact events. And if people know, The Legend of Zelda for the NES in 1986 was the first game to have a save feature. We kind of used the save feature on memory cards. Now we have our hard drives and micro SD cards and everything. But there was a particular game that actually did something with your saved data that actually affected and could have gave you a game over screen. There's a title called Enemy Zero by Kanji Kondo. Not Kanji Kondo, sorry about that. Kenji Eno. Enemy Zero was a game for the Sega Saturn. This was by his company called Warp. And it was released in America November 24th, 1997. It was released in Japan in December 13th in 1996. Now, the reason why I'm talking about the save data about it was because your save was connected to the ship's engine that you was on. And every time you save, you use the engine's energy.
Oh.
And in Enemy Zero, that affects the lights and everything. So every time you save, it will make the ship get darker and darker. On top of, you only could shoot enemies by sound because you can't see the enemy. So you have to listen to like this beeper thing. And because if you save a lot, you can literally run out of energy on the ship. So when you start the game from whatever last saved, you will walk in and the ship would be dark and you cannot see anything. To the point where you literally have to start the game over. Because it's if the enemy gets you in enemy 0, it's 1 kill. That's it. You gotta start back from the beginning. And this game, it was on 4 discs. So if you really wanted to like not save, yeah, you had to play all this on the Sega Saturn
What?
without save.
That's insane.
Yes. And Keiji Ino, he's the creator of D. And some other games. Like he was the master of survival horror games. So if you guys want to like check it out, go. There are some histories. There's some playthroughs of it. But yeah, this is the first game that every time you save, it affects the engine that you're on in the video game. Where like Resident Evil, you had to
The ink ribbons.
yeah, the ink ribbons to save. This game, if you just like literally saved, you was draining the ship's engine.
I don't know how
What's
this
the
has
title
not been done before.
Enemy 0.
Enemy 0. Yeah, you're right, Grayson. Like, because that might infuriate some people to have that mechanic, and I guess it's how dim does the ship get per save. But overall, I think it's actually a really creative way to really like if you want to add a difficulty level. That would be kind of an ingenious way to kind of ramp it up. Maybe not over 4 discs, but
yes.
And we after that we didn't get any kind of innovative game to. I mean, Resident Evil, yes, but then we got Eternal Darkness, where, like I said last week, that it tricked you. So if your sanity meter was high, it would say, "Oh, we destroyed your data. We corrupted your data," and then it would get back into the game, and it made people mad because they thought they lost their save. So they was destroying the game. They were starting over and realizing that the data was still there. It was a mind trick, and Nintendo had to approve that for that to be in the game. That sanity to be in the game. So, yeah. That's a game fact event, even though it's not Nintendo related. But knowing that The Legend of Zelda was the first game to have in-save data where you could just save on the game, and then seeing Enemy 0 take that and switch it and play around with it is very interesting. So,
no, that's a good one. Thanks. Let's hope publishers out there are listening and start getting a little more creative.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah. So everybody, we're going to get into Family News. And wow, everybody, what happened last week? It's a whirlwind of craziness. We're going to start off with this. Grand Theft Auto Definitive Trilogy will release on Nintendo Switch November 11th through the eShop, with the physical coming December 7th. With this information coming so soon after the game was announced, do you think it will perform and sell well on Nintendo Switch? And could this lead to more game support from Rockstar on Switch? So, it's coming to all digital platforms on November 11th. Xbox is getting it free on Game Pass. Well, it's coming available on Game Pass. It's not free because you got to pay for the service. But the physical is not coming to December 7th. Do you think people are going to wait that long to get the physical? Or do you think people are going to jump on November 11th and buy it on the eShop? What are your thoughts? Stephanie, I'm going to start with you.
Ooh, lots of thoughts running through my head on this one. So I, believe it or not, have not ever played Grand Theft Auto. It's just one of those popular franchises that I just never got into for various reasons. However, the news is still exciting because I understand that it's a popular series. And the fact that it's going to the Switch as well is mind-blowing because Nintendo, as everybody knows, tends to have a little bit more of a family-friendly interface, at least with their first party. I mean, they've since then incorporated a lot of third party, more mature themed games. So I think this is kind of big that Nintendo Switch is having this. Just in general, the tagline of like Switch sells games. Not that Grand Theft Auto needs help with that by not saying that, but I'm just saying like it can really only add to it. And I think it's hard for me to predict. I'm not really good at it on how well it'll do on the Switch, either physically or digitally. But I think when the numbers do come out, after the first few weeks or something, they'll be able to to gauge, how Nintendo deals with, again, those more mature themed games. But as far as physical and I don't know, I think Switch owners tend to be more physical game owners, but I'm not really quite sure. I don't really have any great guesses. How about you guys?
What about you, Greysun?
Yeah, as far as the physical digital thing, I feel like it's like not 50-50, but like for me, I'm like all digital pretty much. And I feel like a lot of Switch owners are like that too. So I can see a lot of people just like wanting to pick this up day one, even if they don't get a physical copy, just because it's 3 games in one anyways. So it's just like, oh, it's nice to have all that installed in your Switch. And like it's one of the first times that that series has been on a handheld platform too. So that's also just like a huge reason to like choose a Switch over the other platforms too. As far as like the sales thing, I'm pretty sure like this will sell well, like no doubt. I feel like when this releases, it'll be like the top sellers on the eShop, like around there, just because like these games, it's been so long since they originally released, so they've been like so far removed. So like this generation of gamers like has not experienced that at all. So I think a lot of people will like dive in for the first time. God, there's something else I was gonna bring up too. Oh, you also asked like if other future games would come from Rockstar, the support.
Yes.
I don't think this would mean they bring other games. I just think they're doing this because these remasters are like obviously they haven't been like increased so much where like the Switch can't handle it, And I think that's just the reason. Like, okay, these games can run on the Switch. Let's bring them over. I don't see it as like a gauge for like, oh, let's bring GTA 6 over because this game sold well. I think they're gonna focus that on like the major platforms that can handle it, obviously. Just because like they would have put GTA 5 on Switch by now, if like they wanted extra people to play that game on Switch and sell it even more copies than it already has, So I just think this might be like a one-time thing for now, So maybe in the future we'll see like ports of 5, but yeah, I don't think they're putting a 6 on Switch anytime soon,
I think that's an incredible point. You're right, because they are older games and, the Switch hardware can handle it. And you're right. I think remasters, remakes, especially from third party, kind of seem to be, creeping onto the Switch. And that's probably another reason why. And the other comment that I did think about while you were talking, Greysun, is at least it's not cloud version. I mean, not that I have anything against cloud versions, because I haven't played one to poo-poo on it. I actually wrote a piece on it today. But the point is, I know a lot of gamers are turned off by that fact for various reasons. So the fact that it's not cloud and just digital or physical, that's why I kind of agree with maybe the 50-50, as long as it's not cloud,
Yeah.
Yeah. And see, we did get LA Noire on Switch from Rockstar, and it sold very well. So it was kind of showing that Rockstar, we will buy your games if you will put it on the platform. As for Grand Theft Auto Trilogy, I think it's gonna do okay, but I think it's gonna do well in December for Switch. And the only reason why I think it's gonna do okay in November is because of Game Pass. People who got an Xbox they're gonna be playing it there. There may be some Sony people playing it too, but it's just like, why would you put? I'm like, yes, Grand Theft Auto is going to do fine, but then you got Pokemon, and then you got Forza 5. And Pokemon is going to, like, to me personally, is going to destroy Grand Theft Auto in sales. I think because we don't really got a big game in December against Halo Infinite. I think people are going to be like, okay, it is physical, so I'm going to spend my 60 getting the physical copy because I want to have this box art of this game. I want to be able to like carry it on the go, and now with my Bluetooth headphones, I get to hear the Vice City soundtrack. I get to hear 3 soundtrack. Hear what San Andreas is. Those 90s Dr. Dre cuts and everything. People are going to be like, I get to hear this while I'm on the go. So it's going to become like people's Walkman in a sense. And yeah, they could do that definitely with the eShop and stuff. But I'm like, when people are waiting and focusing more on Pokemon, once they get their feel of it, Grand Theft Auto is going to be there for them to play. So they have a flow of it. So everybody, I'm going to admit, because there was 2 weeks ago that I wasn't on the show, and the guys, Laurent, Corey, and Jacob, they talked about Grand Theft Auto, and I'm not gonna trip or anything. I messaged Laurent, so I'm gonna be up and honest with everybody. I said I am going to buy the physical version. I know I have my problems of Grand Theft Auto, major problems with it, but I gotta show Rockstar. I told Laurent I want to show Rockstar I'm going to support you guys, but I just want you to know I want Max Payne 3 on Switch. I want it remastered. I want everything that was fixed because they had some trophies and stuff on PlayStation 3 that you did everything and it wouldn't unlock, and they never patched it. So I want this game to be like, if you put Max Payne 3, put in some fake trophies in if you need some in-game trophies. I'm fine with that. Some in-game achievements. I want that. I want this game remastered and to be on Switch. After that, you don't have to support Nintendo at all ever again if you don't care. That's fine. But if you get Max Payne 3 on there, I would show more support.
What if it was the cloud version of Max Payne 3?
I would still buy it.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to shimmy my credit card with sadness because I have to do it, but I'm gonna shimmy it to be show support.
And Ed has spoken.
Then you're gonna plug in that new Ethernet cable on your Switch OLED.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. But speaking of support, it seems that Japan has shown major support for Metroid, with Metroid Dread selling an estimated 109,019 physical copies, according to Famitsu, within 10 days. The support that series has received has been joyful and a great sign that Metroid Dread reinvigorated the series. Does this give a signal to Nintendo that Prime 4 and the possible Prime Trilogy remaster are what gamers will support heavily? So we got good numbers, at least from Japan. Surprisingly, it dropped to number 7 in the UK, and Mario Kart 8 for Switch has taken number 1 in the
Again.
UK. Again. We don't have numbers yet for America just yet, and we don't know what the digital sales numbers are. So we are still waiting for everything to be total. But people are showing that they're still buying the game. People are showing pictures of the physical, of the collector's edition. So we shall see. But what do you guys think about this? Metroid Prime 4 and Prime trilogies. Do you think people are going to be more excited and it's going to do big sale numbers for this game? Stephanie, I'm gonna start with you.
So I do feel that it's kind of this has given a signal. I can't talk tonight to Nintendo for Prime 4 and the possible Prime trilogy. I know historically that Metroid, correct me if I'm wrong, right? It just really didn't gain that fandom in a sense that Mario and the Zelda franchise has done over in the East, correct? And I'm wondering, in the beginning, when Nintendo had become, very popular, like, was it late 80s, early 90s, I think they just found their niche, so to speak, with the light, the colorful, the fantastical, like the epicness of The Legend of Zelda, and just the quirky funness, familyness. Familyness is not a word too, with Mario. And I think Samus has, not that it's by any means an older kids game or anything, but it has, more deep, darker tones, sci-fi elements that maybe at the time just kind of really wasn't what Nintendo was focusing on when they saw the success with Mario and Zelda. But since it's been so many years, I think what gamers are looking for or what gamers are enjoying have changed. I think their tastes, I know my tastes have changed over the years. And I think the fact that not only did they revamp Metroid with Dread well, but they gave it so many different touch up. It's just so beautiful. So I just think that, I don't know, it's striking while the iron's hot. I just think it's a new day and a new age. And for sure. With sales, climbing like this, I would like to see hopefully more support for future Metroid Prime. I mean, Prime 4 in the Trilogy remaster. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know here in America we're looking forward to Prime 4. Me and my friend Larry from World War One, we was talking about it today, and I feel like they're going to end the next Nintendo Direct with Prime 4 because they showed off Bayonetta, they showed off Breath of the Wild 2, and so it's one of the most anticipated games we're looking for, and because the numbers for Metroid in general, with the Wii U sale numbers for Zero Mission and Fusion, secondhand people buying Other M and Samus Returns, and people going back to the Prime games here. Definitely in America, people are looking forward to it. Now, Japan is not big on Metroid, and they're not big on first-person shooters. But if the numbers from Metroid Dread kind of shows them that, oh, this is a great game, because it wasn't developed in Japan. This was developed by Mercury Steam, who was I think a Hispanic studio, or
Spain, yeah,
Spain studio. That's amazing that it even sold past 100,000. That's just good numbers for that series in Japan. So to see if Prime 4 and even the trilogy, if they could each do 100 again, or 100 each in Japan, maybe Metroid will get more recognition for it. I know people here in America, we want it. Hopefully we get what if we got a Prime like kind of amiibo where you kind of see Samus hands and everything, and it's supposed to represent a first person view of Prime games.
Yeah, cool. You mentioning the first person shooter aspect, and I think Nintendo made the right move, because I know we've been kind of guessing and wondering when Prime 4 would come out. I think they made the right decision to releasing Dread first, this 2D-ish, 2D, I don't know, I just feel like it's more, I don't know, it would appeal to more fans first.
Yes.
I guess, especially in the East, and then, once they got them hooked, fine, maybe we will give first person shooters a try,
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, Greysun.
You mentioned how like Metroid is like a darker, like deeper property from Nintendo, and like the Metroid series hasn't really done well in Japan ever. But it is a really niche game when you look at it compared to like these family friendly Mario and Zelda stuff, or like it is, and also the high difficulty level too, because the Metroid Dread is probably one of the hardest Nintendo games that I've ever played, like losing to every single boss over and over again, and mastering like the bosses and mastering the map. And it's just like, if you like remove all like the Nintendo-ness from it, I guess it would seem just like a like a random indie developer made it or something, so it's like I see why the Japanese like audience doesn't really get drawn towards that. It just doesn't, like, you can't put, it's just like when you look at it without knowing what Samus or Metroid is, it's like it just looks like some random lady in a suit shooting these robots, and it's scary, and you're running around, and it looks hard. So like it doesn't really seem like, oh, it looks so cute, or I want to stream this, or I want to like show this to my family. It just doesn't have that Nintendo appeal. But I think just because the Switch is doing so successful, and you have a high attach rate, and you have like these systems like selling out so quickly, Metroid has a chance of like coming back really strong, I think. But I just don't know if that's gonna apply to the East as much as it will apply to the West. Because I think if you have Metroid Dread and you put out the Metroid Prime trilogy and then Metroid Prime 4 like a year or two later, you really like, you have a really strong, like, I don't know what to say, but you have like all these Switch owners, and you introduce them to Samus again, and like put Metroid Prime 4. I think it could be like a really, big seller.
Ease them into it, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Just introduce everyone to like, okay, this is Samus again. Play these games. We got a new one coming. Like, so hopefully that helps if they bring out the trilogy.
Nintendo would constantly send out either like weekly logs or journals or things to read up on it, and they're really pushing the lore. Now, I'll be honest with you, every time I see it, I get really excited, but then I get busy and don't read them. But I appreciate the effort that they're putting out there, and like you said, Greysun, hopefully that's laying the foundation of getting players attached to Metroid.
Yeah. So, well, it's still good numbers. Every people are now beating it. They're beating it on hard. Uh, I have beaten the game 100%, 16 hours, and I put it away. I am good. I don't need it. If they do a new game, I hope they patch in a new game plus. I would love to keep my powers and be able to fight everybody from the beginning with that new game plus.
Yeah.
Even if I have to get all my powers back, fine. But let me have all my energy at least, my energy capsules and stuff. I would love to do that. That means I gotta go do all those Shine Spark puzzles, and I don't want to. Oh no,
Oh,
no.
I'm
They're so
horrible with the
hard.
Shine Spark.
Trust me, I was having a lot of trouble with them too, Stephanie. So you're not alone. But we're gonna get into our final portion of family news, which is going to be a variety. Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine in Fortnite. Sakurai tweeting a picture of Among Us. Mario Party Superstar leaks online. Nintendo rejecting a voice for Samus for Metroid Prime. What is going on? Let's quickly touch on these insane and amazing news that has come our way. So yes, everybody, we know Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine is in Fortnite. Thoughts? I'm shocked that this has happening. There's a video that was posted that Chris Redfield is dancing to Cardi B's Up.
I saw that, yeah.
He's getting it. I'm just like, this is foolishness at its best, and I enjoyed every moment of it.
Honestly, it didn't even surprise me, like seeing the picture of them. I'm like, yep, that sounds right. And I just like kept scrolling. And I play Fortnite like sometimes, not as much as I used to, but like it's just another reason for me to spend money because I bought that Ariana Grande skin, and that was like the first skin I bought. So now I'm looking for like my next purchase. So I don't know. These are very enticing to me. They look very good.
What about you, Stephanie? Have you seen it?
I don't play Fortnite. I just don't. But I did see the news, and like I was kind of half and half because like my first reaction is that's crazy and ridiculous. I don't want to see these characters in these serious horror games like just get ruined in my brain. But then at the same time, like, wait, it makes sense, and I'm sure people will love it. So good for people who will buy it. Yeah.
Okay. Sakurai tweeting a picture of Among Us. There's a picture that he has put out. I think a cat is laying down, and the red character is like in a basket. And he had to tweet it after the
Sakurai presents.
Yes, because people would think that Among Us might have been the last character for Smash or coming to Smash. But like, what did you guys think, Stephanie?
I'm looking at it now. I wanted to pull it up because I actually haven't seen it.
Oh, I haven't seen it either. Let's see.
I thought it was cool.
No, definitely. I don't. I'm always afraid of overthinking stuff like this. So I'm not really quite sure what to say. I'm not sure.
Let me see. I guess it's not loading up. I mean, knowing him, it's probably just like a funny tweet or something.
Yeah.
And who knows? I know they put out the last DLC fighter, but we could always end up getting a random batch of like Mii fighter costumes down the line.
Yeah.
I don't see why. I'm sure that doesn't take as much effort as making an actual new character. So I don't know. Maybe like he has like teasing a little something. Maybe it's just a fun little tweet.
I
don't know.
You never know. And Nintendo in general has said that they will not do X, and then they'll turn around and do X. Maybe just slightly different so they can get away with it. So like that's kind of where I'm like, hey, you know what? It's possible. But at the same time, I want to get some sleep tonight. So I'm thinking about what's gonna happen.
We was talking about on World 1 or Phazon Labs the podcast about Metroid. We just did a Sporticast, and I said the last boss in Dread, I kind of want to ask the next fighter in the next Smash game.
If we need more Smash representation in general, that would be awesome.
Yes. So
nothing. Yeah. nothing else to say about that.
Exactly. Mario Party Superstar leaks online, and I think it's one of the mini games that leaked. And I guess it's causing like, what the world is going on? uh, I'm shocked that the game even leaked or anything came out. I'm just like, how? How is this possible? Uh, what did you guys think about leaks in general?
I mean, for a game like Mario Party, you know, no one's probably like, you know, mad about spoilers or anything just because it's a game that's basically a remaster of like a bunch of old games.
Mhm.
But I don't know, it's like people are just gonna keep doing these things, like these leaks. Because I remember looking at like, because I look at Google Trends a lot for work. And I remember looking at Metroid Dread a lot, and Metroid Dread ROMs would come up a lot for people searching up, you know, emulation and stuff like that. So like, you know, it happens a lot with Nintendo Switch games, and you know, it sucks to see because you know you want people to support like Nintendo and buy the games that we like to show like we want more of them, but I don't know. This is just like a random game to get. It's like kind of funny to me. Like when I saw screenshots of it, and people were actually modding it too. They were adding their own like icon to the character select screen or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I just feel like, you know, leaks, they're just going to happen. We're in the day and age where the odds of something leaking are going to happen. I mean, maybe a few big IPs might be lucky enough to be in that steel trap. But so for me, I mean, I just do what I do. Again, I love my sleep. I just avoid social media on certain things. Like if I see something's trending, like if there's a leak of Breath of the Wild 2, well, okay, then maybe that's not a good example. But just, you know, in general, like I'm gonna just avoid it because I know I can't stop it from happening. Me complaining about it on the internet isn't going to make a difference. You know, if I don't want to know about it, I won't look at it. You know, like the monkey, just close your eyes, close your ears. With Mario Party Superstars, yeah, I agree, Greysun. I feel like a leak for that is. I'm not saying it's not significant. It's a big Mario title, but I'm like, what are you gonna ruin? A bunch of mini games? I don't know. Like,
right.
What do you think, Ed?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Greysun.
No, I was gonna say like I remember when The Last of Us 2 came out and the spoilers were coming out, and I had to like I just went on Twitter and muted everything related to Last of Us Part 2 because if it's a game like that or I know the story is like very important to the game, then like yeah, I'm like I have to block out anything I don't want to see it. I barely watch like the trailers leading up to the game's release too, just so I don't want to know, you know, too much of the stuff.
Yeah, I normally leaks I do not pay attention of. Even as a host for Nintendo and just in podcasts in general, when I have to, you know, be on or anything where I'm guessing, like I don't look into the leaks because I don't want to be ruined. I want to see it as a surprise, and I don't want to give the person who leaked it any kind of notification, any kind of attention. I want to be able to just be like, when it comes out, it comes out. If there's someone leaked it, that's their business. If you want to be spoiled or find out what it is, you go ahead. Me, I'm waiting for the product to come out. I'm not giving, you know, space to it. Mario Party leaking, I guess I'm like you guys said, like it's a party game. It's, you know, it's an old game, just like kind of remastered or brought back with some touch ups. Like it's not gonna do nothing. Like what I'm gonna do? Oh, they leak row your boat. I'm like, what the heck? Like that doesn't mean nothing to me. So,
you can get stars in this game. Oh my god!
Right. If you row gently down the stream, you get 2 bonus stars. Like I don't care about that. Like what the heck? So. I'm going to move on to the next one. Nintendo rejecting a voice for Samus for Metroid Prime. They rejected because they thought she sounded too sexual and sensual. So they nicked any voiceovers for Samus, which I never thought. This is something because I bought Metroid Prime when it came out on GameCube. I never thought they had any intention to do Samus that way.
So they originally were planning to have a voice actress. Is that what the story is?
Yes.
Basically? Okay. I wasn't sure.
But when they
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, when they tried it, she sounded too sexual and a little bit sensual. So she was just like, "Oh, go ahead, Stephanie."
No, just if that's the case, can't they just have her revoice it so it's not too sexual or sensual? Like,
They don't
can't
want
they
to tell
just?
her, I guess.
I don't know. I just feel like if it is that way, which as a from a female perspective, like part of the feminist thing is like, don't tell us how to sound or whatever, or dress, whatever. But at the same time, I can understand why they might want to not have something that sounds too sexual or sensual, only because that means they don't want to make a female a sexual gratification object. So like on one hand, I actually applaud that. I'm like, good, because that's not what we're all used for. I'm just, but I just kind of thought, well, why can't you just redo it? I don't know, but I don't know much behind how voice acting and stuff like that works. I'm not familiar with that part of the industry.
Yeah, but I know for me, I don't know how it would work because there is a story in Metroid Prime, but it's all through reading, and you have to scan. So what like sexual part was Sam's gonna be like? Ooh, there is a boss. Like
Yeah, she doesn't really talk to anyone, right? Like in that
Right.
game. She would just be probably inner monologuing, and which is
Like-
just maybe they realized they didn't need that in that game, in Metroid Prime, until Other M, when they kind of change gears, but
right, like is she gonna like Bayonetta? Like, ooh, because I got a super missile. Like, what can you do with Samus?
like
she's
I finally got this
bounty hunter.
North Ball power up.
Yes.
So I see real quickly on My Nintendo News, it says that the headline is Nintendo rejected some placeholder grunts and screams for Samus in Metroid Prime. So maybe it's
That makes a little more sense.
or something.
Yeah,
she
was doing a little bit too much with the noises, maybe. I don't know.
It sounded like she has some.
I mean, now I kind of want to hear it. I want to be the judge of this.
Can that information be leaked somewhere?
Yeah.
Like the voice recording?
I'm keeping it clean. I think she has some special Chibi OOs, if you know what I mean. So, but everybody, that has been Femi News. We're gonna get into our doc mode because I cannot wait to have this discussion with you guys. It's been 10 years since the Nintendo Direct debut, 5 years from the Nintendo Switch announcement with the lovely rooftop Karen, and 4 years of Nintendo goodness with the sale of games, systems, a new OLED, and expansion pack. So, my fellow elite Black agents, have Nintendo business decisions helped them to get where they are at now? I know that sounded weird. And have they truly shown that they're not here to compete, but offer some of the best gaming to players around the world? And we know everybody at this time of this recording, the Nintendo expansion pack will be out, where you can play N64 games, Sega Genesis games, and anyone who has Animal Crossing, November 5th, you'll be able to play the DLC for that. But yeah, let's jump into this one. Let's start with the Nintendo Direct. It's been 10 years. They kind of got away from E3 because the last E3 was kind of a bomb. People were making fun of them, and Nintendo changed their idea of how to present the game and market stuff. And when they heard of the Nintendo Direct, people thought that it was crazy. They were mad at Nintendo, but it's kind of now become the staple in the industry, definitely during the pandemic last year. And when people saw the first one, they were into it. Reggie Fils-Aimé was in there, and people kind of see the gifts of him. And film saying, "What did you waiting for?" And everything. So, but what did you guys think of the Nintendo Direct? When was the first time that you seen it or anything?
I think
Grace.
I don't remember like the first one exactly, but 10 years ago, it was my first year in college after high school, and I remember like being like in the computer lab, like watching these Nintendo Directs, like with headphones on, like between classes or whatever, or like watching it. I remember watching a Nintendo Direct, like waiting for like a bus before. So like they've always been like just so much and so enjoyable to watch. At the beginning, they were a little bit rough around the edges. If you go back to like the first few ones, like they were kind of stale and like not much like not as like smooth as they are now. You know, it was kind of like janky and awkward, and they didn't really know what they were doing, but they were trying to like they were taking a step in the right direction, obviously. But yeah, like I've been watching them forever, and they're probably my favorite video game thing ever. Like I would much rather watch the Nintendo Direct over, you know, a Ubisoft Forward or a PlayStation. Even though I love PlayStation, you know, PlayStation, whatever they're called, I don't know what they're called.
Showcase?
Or yeah.
State of Play.
Oh no, the State of
State of
Play,
Play.
and then the Microsoft thing. It's just Nintendo just has that like magic, you know, and that charm, and you know, I feel like they bring so many different types of people together to watch that live stream and see what they have going on. Whether it's like a mini direct or a Pokemon direct or like an Animal Crossing, like you just like I don't know, you can't go wrong with the Nintendo Direct, really.
Yeah, you're right. They even have the
Yeah.
Indie World Showcase that belongs to Nintendo, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that still blows up on Twitter and the internet, even for these smaller titles, which is awesome to see.
And they even got the UK one, the Europe one, for their directs. Of course, the Japan Nintendo Direct will some also have additional games coming to Japan that may also their own come to America, and they're always interesting to see. I remember watching the first one because they covered some 3DS games and a little bit of the Wii games, and just over time, like they kind of improve. And you know, watching E3, seeing them, I just definitely enjoyed. When Doom, the 2016 Doom came to Switch, me and Corey lost our mind. We both watched it, and we had to quickly do Pow Block reaction, and we were hyped for it because we didn't expect Bethesda to bring anything else to Switch. We thought it was just gonna be Skyrim, and that was it. And then when we seen it, we were just like, wait, what the world happened? And then realized that game did 1 million alone on Switch.
Wow.
You know, so it's been moments where we treat the Nintendo Directs kind of like E3s, kind of like this is the biggest surprise. And when people, sorry to say this, so youngins, please, you know, close your ears. When people thirst for the Nintendo Direct, when it actually happens, a lot of people, you know, thirst is quenched. Now, there are some people who don't like it at times, but they don't like it because none of the games speak to them. But if you look at overall, you just be like, don't forget, Wii U got like Wii U got didn't get the third party games, didn't get the support, and they were like the laughing stock of them. Now that we got so much support with Switch and definitely with the Nintendo Direct, it has changed the whole conversations. So definitely indies are watching it because they're seeing everybody's reaction, and they know that if they are seeing people tweet about them, people are putting, even though this is Steam, they're putting their wish list in the Steam showcase and stuff, or you know, if a game is coming to Steam, that's going to be coming to Switch. A lot of indies are paying attention because they're seeing people saying, I cannot wait for this game. I cannot wait for this game. And when a lot of people say it and it's trending on social media, that's not only good business for Nintendo, that's good business for that company. Trust me. Look at Konami. Konami, everybody was mad at Konami. And then they put out the last one, the Indie World, I think it's the Indie World one that they put out, and people were just like, oh, I'm getting this game from Konami. Even though I might not like them, I'm getting this game. And Konami was trending because of that. That was a good sales thing for them. So I think the Nintendo Direct has done a lot, not just for Nintendo, but for gaming in general, for developers, for third party, for indies, for gamers, even people who only play on PlayStation or Xbox or just PC gamers. They're watching the Nintendo Direct because they want to see what is coming. And definitely when they used to do the wacky ones, you know, when Reggie had to eat all those donuts because the ghost from Luigi's Mansion took over his body.
God.
He was in a meeting. So there's
so long, I don't even remember.
Yeah, there is a skit that Reggie is in a meeting, and there's a Bill Trennan. He's in the skit too, and they're about to have a meeting, and to promote Luigi's Mansion 2 for the DS or 3DS, I think. One of the ghosts entered his body, and because it was a ghost who likes donuts, Reggie sitting there, ooh, donuts, and he's eating all these donuts. The one that everybody, you cannot deny this one. The one that everybody got super hyped about when it came to Nintendo Direct is the Reggie and Iwata fight to promote Smash Brothers. And to see them introduce Mii's and everything, and just see Iwata lively, and just like these two yeah,
right? And they're like punching each other like really fast in the air.
yeah. And then he did the directly to you movement and started walking, and it was just like people were going crazy. And Nintendo started this all, definitely when we seen just like Breath of the Wild, how they started out with the music and just like wake up Link, and people were just like amazed. And when they seen that game, it was just like, this is what people come to Nintendo Direct for. And now, yes, it evolved over time, but people know that, gamers know that, I should say, that the power of the Nintendo Direct has just influenced so much, and it brings so much memories. I was just watching the playlist of all the Nintendo Directs, and I was just like, oh my goodness, all of these games that came out, and just even watching the playlist for 2021, it's really amazing to see all of that. Stephanie, I'm sorry, did I about too much time?
No. That was, both of it was so great to hear, because my story is not too exciting. I actually haven't watched a Nintendo Direct or E3 or any of that until I started, listening to you guys when I first was a fan. And I was like, I got to check out these more often, because I'm usually the person like late to the party, always hearing about news like 6 months later or something. So I think the first Direct I saw was the Indie World Showcase, and I hopped on the writers chat in our Discord channel. And I mean, I'm a little biased because I was able to watch it and stream it with, my buddies, and I was just so excited and so hyped. But this doesn't surprise me, though, because, Nintendo is just in general known for wanting to do something different, wanting to be innovative. And I mean, we've seen Nintendo still participate in E3 this year virtually, right? But, the content was slightly different. It's very curated. So, love it or hate it, Nintendo really wants to stand out and do something different. And I'm glad they did when they started the Nintendo Direct 10 years ago.
Oh, yes. Well, we got the Nintendo Switch announcement from when it was codenamed the NX. And, we kind of seen that this person is playing, I think, Skyrim, or I think he's playing Breath of the Wild, or he was playing the game on his TV. And the next thing you know, you see him get up, or it's like his alarm or something. He gets up and he picks up the Switch, and he's taking it on the go, and it switches to the thing, and everyone's like, oh wow. And then he's taking off the Joy-Cons, and later on we see Karen, who looks a little bit like what's her name for Scooby-Doo? Delma from Scooby-Doo.
Daphne? No.
Or Velma?
Velma, right? Oh, Velma.
Did I say Delma? Sorry about that.
I think you combine their names. It's okay.
Exactly. You see Velma, that looks like Karen, and she became a gift and a meme to some people, but she was just like playing on this rooftop, playing Mario Party or something, Switch with it, and it was just like giving you the idea that you could take this thing on the go and everything. Where were you guys at when they announced the Switch?
I mean, I think I was.
Okay.
I was. Okay. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was at home, because I think the pre-orders went live right after this, right? Like the same day. No, it was later.
A little bit later, yeah.
Okay, because I remember I got my pre-orders like immediately in there as soon as I can. Because I was like, this is why I love Nintendo so much. Like, I remember watching that trailer and just not only seeing that they were finally combining like their portable and home console market, but like, they showed Mario Odyssey, and I'm such a big 3D Mario is like so huge for me. So I was like rewinding over that like 3-second part so much. Like, oh my god, I can't wait to play this game on this new console. And like, God, like it just from that day I knew that like this was gonna be something so special. Like just it's crazy because they made so much money from the whole DS line and stuff. So you would think that they would continue with that, but they kind of just found an genius way to just put everything together. And now like we've been getting like some of the best games ever in the past 5 years. Has it been? No, 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey and Splatoon and all these other huge games. It's just like I love the Switch so much, and I hope they just like keep doing this. I don't know what they're gonna do next, like with the next console, but I just hope it has the portable factor still. They just like kind of have to stick with it, I feel. At this point, they kind of buried themselves,
Yes. What about you, Stephanie?
I don't recall like when the exact announcement was, because again, at that time I wasn't keeping up with the news, so to speak. But I eventually saw the trailer, and it blew my mind because Nintendo kind of went back and forth with their home consoles and portable, and I couldn't always afford all of them. So like I was on and off. I had my N64, my Game Boy Color, yeah, Wii, and then the DS. I kind of skipped a couple. So the fact that it could switch and the name was Switch, I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. And because like for me, I was already super impressed back then with the Wii. I know a lot of people really hated on the motion controls, and sure, it was janky sometimes, but for me, I thought it was like just as cool as virtual reality. I was like, oh look. So although I did not pre-order, poor naive little mind of mine, I did make note of when the Switch was coming out. I think it was released the same day as Breath of the Wild, right? Because I was
March. Is it March 3rd?
Yeah, March.
Yeah,
I think so.
I was at work.
Is that first Friday in March?
I made my ex drive around and get it. I'm like, you go first thing when that store opens. I found Breath of the Wild immediately, but couldn't find the Switch. And I still give him credit to this day that he drove around like 4 or 5 different places until he found an Amazon bookstore that was selling Switches behind the counter. And I'm like, yes, I got
that's so
it.
random.
I know.
Exactly.
Crazy. Wow.
I remember me and Corey was just talking, hanging out, and we looked on Twitter, and Nintendo had a video on their page, and we just like, what is this? Clicked on it, and it was the announcement of the Switch, because Nintendo dropped that announcement with nobody knowing.
Random, yeah.
It's very random, and like that was the video. Everybody could go back and see it, and the moment that they dropped it, everybody was hopping on podcasts. I think I did about 4 podcasts that week because we did one for Pow Block. I did one for my podcast, Optional Opinion. I was doing World War One. I was hopping on other podcasts like guessing and stuff. And everybody was talking about the Switch, and it's kind of, it has the feeling of the OLED discussion where people were just like, well, why do I need this? This thing's not going to have any systems. And it blew up. Like even after seeing what happened in February when they did the Japanese one and they was announcing ARMS and Shin Megami Tensei 5 and all of this other stuff, people was wondering, will there be games? And when the launch lineup came out, some people who were so against the Switch were just laughing. Oh, this system still don't have games. This stuff that we've been playing. And then Breath of the Wild dropped. The moment Breath of the Wild dropped and people was playing it, they were just like, oh, I get it. And then they was taking it on the go. They was doing the things that the video was showing. And they were just like, oh wow, what is Horizon Zero Dawn again? Like, and no disrespect to Guerrilla Games, no disrespect to PlayStation 4 owners, but people stopped playing Horizon to play. And you talking about, I sold the Switch at Toys R Us. And so I was getting lines, phone calls. I was doing it all. When the Switch was still selling out, like 5 months after it came out, I literally had to at my job at Toys, I had to put my Switch on layaway. And I paid it off because I was still paying for my car. I was paying for other stuff. And then when I was able to afford it, I paid it off. I had already bought Breath of the Wild for Switch with my Wii U copy. So I had it ready to go. I just had to buy the system. And ever since I bought my Switch buying games for Nintendo, the system kept selling out. Holiday came. We had tons of Switches sold out. Nintendo was sending more. Black Friday was coming. Sold more. I was selling so many Switches. It was ridiculous that PlayStation 4 and Xbox sat on the shelves. And people who couldn't get a Switch were just like, I guess I'll get that other system. It's crazy.
Well, if you think about it too, it's the price point. The price point I felt was very fair for what it offered, and maybe not initially at that time, but how many people have you heard have multiple Switches in one family household?
A couple.
I now have 3 at my house just right now.
We have 2.
There you go.
Yeah. So, and a lot, I know it was just amazing to see how when marketing is done right, getting the point across what it could do. And, and for 33 months, it has achieved that. Now we'll see what happens in November, and we'll definitely see what happens in December. But yeah, man, I just remember watching that. Watching it, and now we have, like I said, 4 years of goodness of games, the directs and everything. I want to ask you guys, out of the 4 years that you had your Nintendo Switch, what 3 games is like really not really only search you on Switch, but make you to be a proud Nintendo owner? So let's exclude Breath of the Wild because that's a given for everybody.
Oh, come on.
That was
That's
one of
an
mine.
easy answer for me.
Gotta get my Switch real quick. No, I got a list. Hold on 1 second.
So I think Breath of the Wild, as high rated as it got and everything, and the reason why I said excluded because I knew we was gonna talk about it. It's a given. You cannot talk about Switch without talking about Breath of the Wild. Like, being invested in that world, the music, just finding out the story, seeing the king and everything, and him turning into the ghost, experimenting with the game, and doing this all on Switch on this portable thing, and being able to like sit it down and take it. Like, I was afraid to take my Switch out of my dock, and you like use it around, but I did, and I was just like, oh, it's a whole new experience for me. Definitely with Breath of the Wild. Stephanie, go ahead and talk about Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I'm still going to say it because if it wasn't for Breath of the Wild, I wouldn't have gotten a Switch day one. I've never gotten a day one console purchase. I'm your, average gamer at that time. So, but as soon as it was Breath of the Wild is the launch title, I'm like sold, 100% sold. But if I have to talk about anything else, I'm going to kind of cheat, and one of my answers would be collectively like these smaller indie games, because I feel like Nintendo was one of the first major publishers to really kind of get indie games, like get those indie developers foot in the door, and Nintendo just sold copies. Like obviously Microsoft and Sony are now kind of into the indie biz as well, but I feel like Nintendo and the Switch really just gave rise to the indies. So I would say indie games, because if you look at my library, which is like this big, like 90% of it's indie games. It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know if Greysun you'll be talking about Mario Odyssey, but I would say that's another one. And then lastly, even though it's recent, Metroid Dread. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, that makes me so proud to be a Switch owner. Metroid Dread.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Greysun?
Yeah, so if we don't count like Breath of the Wild or anything, because obviously like everyone knows why that game is good. Like 3 games that I not only just put a lot of time into, but I think are just like really incredible. So like, yeah, Super Mario Odyssey for sure. Like I have 100% of that game, and I think I just played through it like 3 times probably. That's just like my comfort food where I go back to and like to play a nice comfy game where like, oh, it just feels so good, and I can't wait till we get like another new like Mario platformer. But yeah, that Monster Hunter Rise, that's a recent one, but that's been like, it's not like a Nintendo developed game, but I think it's still like very important for like the Switch as a console. That game just sold very well, and like it's just awesome. And I was split on saying Link's Awakening or Luigi's Mansion 3. Those games came out so close together, but I loved those games so much. And I think like some people like missed out on them that year. They kind of, I feel like they kind of, especially Luigi's Mansion 3. I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, and that's such a fantastic. It's my favorite Luigi's Mansion game, like in general. And you know, I 100%ed that. Yeah, it's so much fun, like just collecting everything too, and like I think the way they handle like Mario and Luigi as a character is really good because like towards the end of the game, like they both speak to each other more than they've ever spoken to in like a 3D Mario game, and it was fun seeing their interactions with each other and stuff. Yeah, those games are just like those are like my top, my Switch games right there probably.
Nice. I like how you mentioned the Link's Awakening, because it's like that remake, so to speak, because it's another one of those games, it's a remake of a very old game. So you've got a new generation of gamers willing to try it out. Those whose Breath of the Wild might have been the first Zelda game, or even just older fans. Like for me, I had tried to go back on my Game Boy and play Link's Awakening, and I was on a car trip. I did the thing where I'd have to like be near all the lamps as they, as we drive by, because I couldn't see it. So I'm like, oh, this is great. I'll just play the one on the Switch.
Yeah. For me, it's Yoshi's Crafted World. I still love that game. The level design, the music, the boss fights, like it literally turned me to a kid, and I was laughing. I loved it. I'm like, I'm doing a level in a bathtub with a cardboard fish. This is hilarity. Like, and some of the mini games are just so fun. I'm like, this game, it was so polished, and I was just like, I'm so glad. It was actually me and Corey's first review together, where he did the edit, he polished it up a little bit, and because I gave it a perfect 10. I gave it like perfect. At the time, I had my Yoshi Coin rating, so I gave it 5 out of 5 Yoshis. So that game, I still look at, and I'm just like, this game is amazing, and I wish more people would play it. My second game, and Stephanie, you're going to love this because you were part of it. You know what it is, right? Great.
Ooh, indie games.
Seeing it, investing in this world, seeing the hand-drawn graphics, like I really wanted to cry at the end of the game, but I didn't. Like the game made me feel emotion because I'm like, I don't know who's doing anything like this. I don't know who is hand drawing anymore. And just like how beautiful it is, the story that it's telling, and not realizing the game was about grief. We did a talk the walk here on Boss Rush, and Stephanie was part of it. And Stephanie, just listening to you and David and Celeste, it made me recognize this game on a whole new level. I thought I was coming from this game is beautiful, the gameplay, I love it, and then realizing that it was something else, I was just like, oh, I did not get this meaning at all. And
it
like
had
I said,
all the feels.
Yes, it did. And my third game, Just Shapes and Beats. I am a house fanatic. I love house music. I love dancing, and just it gave me that arcade feel, and it made me remember, oh, this is one more gameplay. Let me play one more time. And just hearing the music and just like doing boss fights where you had to do it all in one row. I was just like, oh, this game. I had tweeted out so much to the team to Just Shakes and Beats that they responded. They were just like, thank you for the support. And I was just like, where can I find the soundtrack at? And they like linked me to a playlist on YouTube of all the game music that they had, because like I think the music that they were using were licensed from different DJs and everything. And I was just like, more people needs to play this, and I supported them hard. And then definitely when they got the Shovel Knight DLC, I was just like, oh, they doing Shovel Knight house tracks. Oh, it's on and popping, and it's so good. So those are my 3 games. There's many more we all could talk about.
Oh yeah. But I will say real quick, Ed, about Gree, because it's funny you mentioned that for being like a Switch owner, because Gree, is available. Heck, it's even available on Android and stuff like that, PS4. But if I were to revisit that option, just for example, where I would purchase Gree and what I would play it on, because I feel like Sony has its strengths in certain areas of where I might buy a game for it. I don't play phone games. No. I think Switch is a particularly wonderful platform for Switch, and I can only imagine how nice it would look on OLED. But it's the game, because some games perform better or worse when they are either docked or in handheld. Gree worked both in well. I think the art style, the display was perfect, and it fit the controls very well. So just wanted to make like a comment, like even though it's available on various platforms, I think Gree is performed exceptionally well on the Switch.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think everything that we talked about, I think everything accumulates a good thing for Nintendo, business wise and reputation wise. In a sense, it kind of showed that Nintendo was not here to compete. They're here to do what Nintendo knows what to do best, and that's to deliver games. The quality is going to be up to that player on how they see it, but they work hard to bring out great games. Indies and third party has seen some of the benefits and the great things that have came out from just Nintendo Switch and the directs and stuff. So I personally feel like in the future, if Nintendo could keep it going, they're not trying to be king of the gaming. They just want to bring out great games and have everybody have fun. You could talk about the price points and all of that. You could talk about that another day. I want to be able to sit down and play the game and enjoy it. And with Nintendo Switch, I've been able to do that, especially with on the go now. Any final words, Greysun?
I was gonna mention this earlier, but you talked about how the Switch, unlike when it first was announced, like the whole switching between the dock and the, handheld mode. Like, I was doing that, in the first week or two, and it was like that thing where like I realized, oh my god, I'm actually doing the thing that they're showing like in the trailer, in the commercial. Like I'm doing the thing, like I'm playing Breath of the Wild in my bedroom, and then I'm like, no, I'm going to like a cutscene heavy moment or something. I'm gonna like put switch in the dock and watch it on the big screen, and then go back to my handheld mode to do some shrines or something. It's just like, there's nothing else quite like the Switch, and I love it so much. That's all I want to say.
Stephanie, you have the final word.
Ooh. I really enjoyed this topic. Everything that we talked about in dock mode does really prove that the type of business decisions Nintendo makes, really, they just go to the beat of their own drum or whatever that saying is. And sometimes I don't understand why there are debates and comparisons made between Nintendo and Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft. I mean, it's for conversation's sake, fine. But for me, I don't know. I just never really found them to be, at least in modern day, competitors. They're just kind of running parallel lives, I would say, because Nintendo's just like, we want to do our own thing. We want to experiment, even if we kind of bomb or not have the best, launch or edition of one thing. They come back a couple years later with a new and improved, and it's even better than ever. Even with, because if Nintendo truly wanted to be a competitor, they would be doing what Sony and Microsoft are doing, kind of like their online service. Now, I'm not going to say who's better or who's not better, but I'm just saying it's clear that Nintendo has a very distinct direction that they want to go in. They're like, well, we're setting this price point, offering this. We don't care how Game Pass and PS Plus are doing it, because they would be, they're different for a reason,
Yeah.
They make their money whether we like it or not.
Yes. And I gotta say this because it's because of Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Pow Block started that way. Of course, beating Corey and supporting him do his content, and then him linking up with me and Adrian, and we are having our friendship and love for Nintendo. Talking about Breath of the Wild just brought us in, and it was just like, oh, I'm having fun, and I can't wait to talk about more Nintendo. And for the last 5 years, we've been talking about Nintendo. So thank you, Nintendo, for being around still, being who you are, and wishing you guys many more. Whatever your next system is going to be, I will have my money ready for it. Because like you, Stephanie, I have not brought anything day one, and if I'm able to, well, besides the OLED is the first video game system, definitely from Nintendo, that I have brought on day one. So, go ahead.
Even if I don't have money, I'll find a way to buy it. I got some credit cards, you know. There's always a credit card lying around. Just waiting to be used.
So, everybody, we're going to start getting into our Play with Power. Stephanie, what have you been playing with Power?
All right. So, for the Switch, for Nintendo, it's really just Metroid Dread. You know, I'm slowly progressing through it. I think I'm almost at the halfway point. I just, like I said earlier, that I'm just juggling between 5-6 games, that my progress is slow, and I'm still also chugging along with Skyward Sword HD. I know it almost seems like old news now given all the other games that it's come out, but I forgot if I mentioned it here. I think it was in the Boss Rush podcast, but the reason why I'm exceptionally slow with Skyward Sword is because I play it with my son, meaning he's the biggest Zelda fan, probably because I forced it on him, but he really does love it. He's going to be Link again on Halloween, and I'm going to be Fi or Fee. I always say Fee, but people are like, oh, it's Fi.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I got the costume ready and everything, so I'm still playing through it because he wants to be there and watch me play, or I'll give him the left Joy-Con where you can control where Link walks and I handle like the sword slashing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm playing there, and then, you know, just if I want to give a high level view, I'm playing the medium on Xbox, also Roki, and then on PS4 I'm still working through Ghost of Tsushima and soon to be Guardian. So that's why it's like,
what did you think of Ghost of Tsushima?
I love it. I really, really do. I do struggle swapping between games because that's one where you need to have that muscle memory of how to do proper combat.
A lot of buttons, yeah.
A lot of buttons and a lot of combinations. And one time I hopped back on after not playing it for like 10 days and I just got slaughtered. So I think it's an absolutely gorgeous game, and I'm a big fan of learning about different cultures, especially Eastern culture, given my heritage. And I also believe they did it in a very beautiful, respectful, just all kinds of ways that I love it, and I can't wait to be able to dedicate more time to it.
I want you, because I did the review for Boss Rush for Ghost of Tsushima. I want you to finish the game and then just look for me, look for my review, and let me know if I was right or wrong with that. Because I know a lot of people are playing it, and since I beat it last year, I kind of want to hear what people think now compared to when I wrote that. Greysun, what are you playing with Power?
As far as Nintendo Switch stuff goes, I've been like jumping around a lot between playing Smash Brothers, like, you know, trying out the Sora DLC. Also I randomly got back into Splatoon 2 a few weeks ago, and that's been like, I've been playing a lot of Splatoon 2 to the point where like it's just getting in the way of me completing other games I need to finish. But it's just like that perfect, like I just want to shut my brain off, put on a podcast, and just play like for an hour or something and just like mess around. What am I playing on Switch? I feel like, I'm also trying to finish Neo: The World Ends With You, because that is a game, I bought when it came out, and then I just dropped it so hard. We're like, I just played like maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I'm a big fan of the original. I was very excited for the sequel, but for some reason it was just like not really, I wasn't vibing with it that much. Like, I'm not a fan of how they changed up the combat, and it kind of just sometimes feels like a repeat of the first game. But I'm still playing it to see if I hear it gets better. So I'm trying to put time into that. And on other platforms, I got back into, well, not got back, but I'm playing Genshin Impact pretty much for the first time. I tried it when it came out originally, but I only played for like a few minutes. But yeah, I'm getting back into it, and I really like it. It's not a game that I thought it would like be into so much, but it sort of reminds me of playing Breath of the Wild a little bit. And of course, it's not as like good as Breath of the Wild. Like, the combat isn't as fun, and like there's no like shrine equivalent where you're doing like really good puzzles like that. But it's just like a really good like JRPG with like really fun quests, and the combat does some interesting things with like the elements. So you control like a party of 4 characters, but one of them will have like ice powers, one will have like fire powers, or like wind, and you can like quickly switch between them. So I could do like a fire attack with one person and quickly switch and do a wind attack, and it'll have like a special effect on the enemy. So you can burn enemies that are like stunned, or like cause them to be wet, and you could electrocute them for more damage. So there's like a lot of like interesting things there. But for me, it's just like a weird like this kind of JRPG that just like, I don't know, I'm really liking right now, and I just can't stop thinking about it. Like, when I just can't decide of what on a game to play, I just kind of go to Genshin and just like been like doing these like intro quests. I haven't played like too much of it. I haven't been like distracted by like the because the game has a lot of like gotcha mechanics. So I was worried that that would be like an issue where like, oh, I don't feel like I might need to pay. Genshin is a free to play game, but so far I have not had any issues with that. Like I haven't been like pressured or forced into like paying extra money or anything. But for a free to play game, it's surprisingly like really good so far, and it's really beautiful, and the like the gameplay is really smooth and the really good frames. So I'm like I'm enjoying it. So it's also coming to Switch eventually. I don't know when, but so that'll be a cool like handheld experience for sure. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yes. For me, I said I finished Metroid Dread. I started up the Great Ace Attorney Part 2, the sequel. So I'm working on that. I kind of got to get back into a lot of the 2021 games. So My Son the Rise, Stories 2, like a lot of stuff that I bought, I played, but I haven't beat it yet. Like East 9, The World Ends With You sequel. What is it again? I know it's 2 weeks. Neo. Is it The World Ends With You, Neo?
Neo, The World Ends With You.
Oh, Neo. Okay. I'm sorry, everybody.
It's a very long name. Blame Square Enix for their complicated titles.
Okay. I started up Fist and Kenna Bridges of Spirits on PS4, so I'm playing that, and started up Far Cry 6 because I finished one of our Talk to Walk games that was interesting. I can't wait to talk to Celeste about it. Very interesting. Still waiting for I'm thinking of getting the one game that got delayed for Switch that's on Xbox, the walking simulator, True Colors.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Yeah. Life is Strange. I'm thinking of getting that on Switch. And because I wanted to get that and the remaster collection together so I could play them all. But we're pushing that probably into next year. Once things get settled, I think we're going to start doing that because I still got Firewatch I need to finish.
Yep, I haven't finished that either because I keep getting distracted.
Exactly. But that's pretty much what I'm playing with Power. And with that, everybody, that is Nintendo Pow Block. We're going to quickly get into some plugs. Stephanie, go ahead and plug.
Well, first, I want to say thanks, Ed, for having me. And you put in a lot of work kind of, giving us the Game Fact Advance and presenting Family News. So, and you still got that energy, and I love it. Maybe my cat doesn't love it so much. I think I terrified her. Anyway, you can find my articles on bossrush.net. Check out the website, not just for my articles, but everybody's articles, because they're all great. And you can find me on Twitter at Klimov, KLIMOV_author.
All right. Greysun, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Greysun Morales and on Greysun Morales on Instagram as well. You can find my writings over at GameRant.com.
Yes. That's it. You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode. Check out Nintendo Pow Block on Wednesdays. We do record live on Mondays at Boss Rush Network on Twitch, or Boss Rush Live on Twitch. I am writing some articles. Stephanie, you're gonna kind of like this one. Before we go, because I'm sorry, everybody. So the article that I'm writing is called, right now it's tentatively called, "Is It Bad Design?" Or is it dreadful design? David J made a comment about Metroid Dread and his design because he got stuck in a room that he couldn't get out of. And when he found out that how to do it, he was upset. He turned the game off. He deleted it from the Switch, and he went on a rant on his Twitter, on his YouTube page about the game. So, and he called the game. He called because of what that is, bad design. He said he hasn't played the Metroid game since Super Metroid. Like that was his first one. And I have an article on it, and I kind of want to just quickly ask you guys. When a developer plays another developer's games and a comment is out that, do you think it changed the perspective on a game? for you?
It doesn't change the perspective for me personally. I think for me, it's like I'm just gonna like make my own opinions about it based on what I'm reading or reviews or just playing it. But I think it can affect maybe other people that aren't really I don't know, like in the know about stuff, so they can go on Twitter or Instagram and see like, oh, is he the God of War creator? Is that who that is?
Yes.
David Jaffe? Yeah,
Yes.
I can imagine someone seeing the headline like God of War creator disses Metroid Dread and be like, oh yeah, Metroid Nintendo games suck, and they're like, oh, I love God of War and stuff, but and they can see that and just not want to purchase that or just have negative things to say. But yeah, personally, yeah, I don't really. It doesn't really bother me that he's talking about Metroid. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions about games, and I think just because he thinks Metroid Dread is a bad game, I don't think it means like the game is bad in general, like objectively, or like I'm gonna like I don't know. It's not gonna change my perspective, basically.
Yep,
Oh,
I'm pretty much on the same line there, and
Yeah.
some people told me, hey, this game is great, or hey, this game is terrible, and I play it, and I tend to have very opposite views, so I automatically kind of just don't really buy into it too much. And I hate to say it, not that I know more than this guy, but it's Metroid. It's supposed to have this very challenging, like, find your way around. Like, that's part of the difficulty of the game, getting around. I actually got stuck in a room once, and I forgot if it was like I didn't shoot a wall because the wall looked like it was solid. Sure, after a while, I kind of wanted to like bang my head against the wall, but I'm not going to call it bad game design. I'm like, this is kind of a Metroid game, So got to take that into consideration, the kind of game that you're playing.
Yes. It's finished. I had to submit it for edits, and I kind of wanted to see what people would think when they read it. I'm thinking of changing the title. But it got me actually thinking of some things, and I have an answer for it, and I don't want to ruin it. I can't. Hopefully, it comes out and you guys will read it. But I kind of want to ask you that because it had become a big discussion last week, and it brought up the $60 discussion and whatever. So just wanted to pick your guys' brains for it. But with that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Go to our Twitter page because I have kind of asked the question for you guys can follow us at Pow Block Podcast on Twitter because I kind of want to know what did you guys think of the Nintendo expansion pack. Did you get it? What is your first game, or is any of the games that you play, is this your first time? I really would like to know. I'm intrigued, I should say, because I pretty much played like 75% of the download, and I'm just like,
shocker.
Oh, yes. But everybody, that's gonna be it for Nintendo Pow Block. Have a great week and have a great weekend, and we will see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Once again, thank you, Greysun. Thank you again, Stephanie, and we'll see you next time, everybody. Woo-hoo! Bye.
Hey,
Yay.
good show. Good
Did
topics.
it.